Hello and welcome to the Philippines, exploring Bantayan Island. Santa Fe is the main tourist area in the south area, and then you have Bantayan itself, the town of Bantayan and the Bantayan section. And then a third section, I'll probably murder the name, Madridejos, something like that. And Santa Fe and Santa Fe Town is the main tourist attraction area. Beaches there, island hopping out of there. And they got a bit of a bar and restaurant square, MJ Square area, and the street or two around there, and where you'll find the public market not very far from there as well. Anyway, it would be interesting to take a banca boat, a small outrigger boat, and explore the island going around through the water. But we rented a motorbike for 2 days, 300 pesos a day, about $6 US, and from somebody who approached us on the boat. And I found out later there are many places in town will rent you a motorbike for 150 pesos. A lot of advertising for 150 pesos a day, and I think that's probably about 8 hours. But anyway, just for your knowledge. And I like to get off the main road and explore. So we're staying in Santa Fe at a couple different resorts, and we're going to go as close to the coast as we can. But first of all, as seems to be the case around the Philippines, when somebody delivers you a motorbike, they have drained most of the fuel out of it. They left enough fuel in it for you to get to a petrol, a service station, a gas station, and that's where we're headed. I thought it was a lot closer than what we had to go to get to it, but anyway, about 5 minutes, and we were at the petrol station. And we're still in Santa Fe town, and I will do another video or two about MJ Square with the bars and restaurants, and a little more about the city as well. Bantayan Island has a population of about 121,000 people. If you include the surrounding islands that I think are kind of included in that group, it's closer to 145,000 people. I was surprised at how many expats I met there. A number of expats just retired there. A couple of expats who own bars and or restaurants or resorts there. Met a guy from Belgium, met a guy from France, has a little ice cream shop. Met a number of Swedes there. And anyway, I'll get into that a little bit later when we talk about MJ Square. Anyway, my girlfriend is driving. She decided to take a right-hand turn where it says no entry. So I had to correct her, make her do a U-turn, and get out of there. Fortunately, there are not many traffic enforcers around. And for that matter, the ones that we found, the town had quite a number of traffic enforcers, because generally there are no stop signs, absolutely no stop lights. And they did have a number of enforcers at busy intersections, and they were very helpful with information. And they would probably just, instead of writing you a ticket like what might happen in America, in the U.S., they would actually just say, hey, don't come down this road. You need to go down here another block or so. We rented a Yamaha Mio. The guy told us he was going to bring us a Honda Click, but anyway, we got the Mio. End up that we had some battery problem along the way, and it's an automatic electric start. Automatic, it's a scooter, so which is nice because it gives you space down to put your feet on, number one. Number two, if you've got a bag or two, to put that bag down there in front of the seat. And we're going to try to stay as close to the coast as we can much of this trip all the way around the island. And we actually did that in one day, which kind of surprised me. There's a traffic enforcer right there, just giving directions. They stand there and give directions. Nice, fairly large house there. If you rent a motorbike or have a motorbike and you have a dead battery and it's electric start, uh, I finally remembered you should be able to start them manually. And here's our service station. I'm gonna fill it up. We end up using about just a little over half the tank by the time we're done, and I don't remember what the volume was. 176 pesos would have cost me to fill it up. But if you put it up on, they've got two kickstands. They've got a side kickstand, and they have a back kickstand. If you put it on that back kickstand, and you should find a little kickstart lever on the side, and you should be able to kickstart that thing.
56.09, 54.09.
This is Marlins Resort, pretty big place, and nice view of the ocean if you have those rooms on that side. Anyway, we're going by there, trying to stick as close to the coast as we can, and we are headed, actually, one of our first destinations is the Mangrove, the Eco Park, and I did a previous video about that, visiting the mangroves. That was kind of interesting. We rented a kayak for 1 hour. I believe it was like 300 pesos, about $6 US. A lot of bicycles in this town. Many bicycles. All the school kids seem to all have bicycles, and they've got a police department, they've got a tourist department. Many of these islands and tourist areas around the Philippines are undergoing infrastructure improvements, and even with the main street near MJ Square, they had the sides of the street torn up where they were putting in better drainage, water system, I guess, and somebody told me they were installing fiber cable as well. Not sure if that's a fact or not. Santa Fe is a pretty good sized town, which kind of surprised me. Doesn't have any malls, doesn't have Jollibee or McDonald's. Many of the malls had many of the resorts had signs saying absolutely no outside food allowed. They want you to use their restaurant. So if you want something from outside, you just go outside and eat outside, I guess, because you're not going to order a pizza and have it brought in, apparently. As we walked the streets, there were lots of resorts, pension houses, hotels, and lots of signs for rooms for rent. That could be almost anything.
Well, there's the beach down there.
Something for every budget, I would say, if you just have to get out and look for it. We also wanted to stop at a place called The Ruins. I've seen information about it on YouTube and other places, read about it. And we did. We're going to be up there in just a little bit. And very clear water. It's not a white sand beach, but they did have some steps for us to go down into the water a couple places, and we did a little bit of snorkeling there. Crystal clear water, just amazing. And sometimes you come to these Ys in the road and you need to make a decision. And since we wanted to stay close to the coast, which is on our left, that's what we did. Now this is that Ong Tong.
Okay, this is where the
Og Tong Cave Resort. So they've got a bit of a cave that you can swim in right there next to the sea. Real popular place, I understand, especially on weekends. Like most resorts, weekends are the bigger time. We were there Monday to Friday, and in November, and was not overrun by tourists. I don't know if they get to a point where they're overrun or not, but we did not have a lot of tourists there. We had the did meet a number of tourists, but we did not run into a lot of them. A lot of them spend a lot of their time island hopping, hanging around the beaches, the restaurants, the bars. Some of these back roads were a little bit rough. They were, I would say, unimproved gravel roads. Some roads were smoother gravel roads, and some were actually paved. This is the gatekeeper here, and the sign says private property, stay out. So we asked what the deal was, and he said, no, go on. I told him we were headed for the mangroves, and the ruins are just within eyesight here. So we're going to stop at the ruins, do a little swimming. Private property.
Huh? Yeah, let's stop along here. Let's stop here and take some. Oh, let's stop at this place here. This is that. It's deeper than it looks. And this is supposed to be a waterproof GoPro, but it's only semi-waterproof is what I found. It started fogging up when I was underwater 10 minutes or so. And that's an issue with the GoPro 7/8, I understand, with some people. So the water is fine. Come on in. This clear water means it's a lot deeper than what it actually looks like. And there's some stairs coming down here.
We used lots of sunblock on this trip, and you want to use it liberally, and unless you want to get burnt or to a crisp, or unless you tan very easily. But this is what's called the ruins. And I also brought a shirt from the U.S. I bought that's supposed to block most UV rays, so I wear that usually when I'm out in the sun. And interesting place. Of course, people are proud that they can spell their name. So Daniel over there, I'm sure he's proud of his ability, what he learned in school. Anyway, a lot of people have done videos about this place, the ruins, and I cannot tell you all the history of this place, but it's an interesting place anyway. The water was fine. Bantayan Island is about 16 kilometers long, or about 10 miles, and at the widest about 11 kilometers wide, or 7 miles. We put on about 90 miles on that motorbike, or 90 kilometers, pardon me, the 2 days that we used it, going all the way around the island, and then little side trips. If I would do this trip again, instead of getting 2 rooms right away in Santa Fe, I would get one night in Santa Fe, take a motorbike up probably to the north end of the island, stay there overnight, and then take another day coming back. It would give you time to do more exploring. Bantayan Island is a big chicken egg producing area. We passed a number of poultry farms along the way, and trucks loading eggs, and I guess they supply eggs to Cebu, tens of thousands every day, as well as other islands. Anyway, this is part of our first trip exploring the island. Thanks for watching. Please like the video. Please share the video. Please subscribe. Safe travels to you all wherever you're at, and I'll see you next time.